Hello and welcome back to the Dice Monster Dice YouTube channel. My name is Derek M. Cook. Now there are two things that I want to talk about before I get into today's main topic. First of all, thank you to all of you who have subscribed. Since the last video, we've had some more subscribers come in, which is great. Now, I still think we're a level 1 YouTube channel. We're trying to level up, and we need more subscribers to do that. So if you're watching this, please consider subscribing to the video. And maybe even give us a thumbs up, ring the bell, do whatever it is that you need to do to help the YouTube algorithm machine recognize Dice Monster Dice and start recommending it to other people. That'd be really helpful, and I would appreciate your support. I also, number 2, appreciate your support if you've supported the Kickstarter campaign that I'm currently running for Harsh Tables Volume 1, which will be Dice Monster Dice's first printed gaming supplement. Within about 13-14 hours of it being launched, we're already a third of the way to our goal. I will make sure there's a link down below, both in the description of this video as well as on the screen. You should be able to see it now if I'm doing my editing correctly. Thank you so much. If you've already checked it out, please consider sharing it with your friends. And of course, if you support the Kickstarter, thank you. It's actually fitting that I've got my hands like this right now. This wasn't planned. But I feel like I need to make a confession, and this is actually what I wanted to talk about today in the YouTube video. I have been looking back at my gaming career, all the different games that I've played, all the different games that I've DM'd, all the different games that I've sat in on. And, you know, as with many things in life, I have some regrets. I have some things that I've done over the years that I wish I hadn't done, and in retrospect, kind of a jerk move. And that's what I want to talk about today. Over on my Monster Kid Radio movie podcast, I'm often telling my listeners that I believe there's no one right way to enjoy a movie. And I feel this applies to gaming as well. There's no one right way to have fun when it comes to playing a role-playing game. Unless you're doing something disruptive. Unless you're doing something that is antithetical to what everybody else is doing in that situation. Role-playing games are a social activity. They involve more than just one or two people. And really, I mean, as with any social activity, you want to take everybody's opinions and thoughts and feelings and moods and everything into consideration. No, this is not a video about doing what your character would do. That's going to be something that Mike and I talk about in a future installment of the Untitled Generation X Nerd Show. No, instead I want to talk about my behavior as a player in somebody's game. Somebody whose game I really enjoyed, and it was run by somebody that I really respect. Now, I don't think he's going to see this video, but if he is, Clay, I am so sorry that I did this one thing. I have so many fond memories of playing that Star Trek role-playing game with you. We were playing the FASA system of Star Trek, and it was a blast. We were playing in the Next Generation era, maybe Deep Space Nine-ish a little bit, and my character was a half Cardassian, half Bajoran character who really had some daddy issues. His father, a Cardassian, did not appreciate that he had a half-breed son running around, especially a half-breed son who was a member of Starfleet. If I remember correctly, my character's name was, I named him Ravel? Graham something? He was named after the film composer Graham Revell, who was somebody that I really enjoyed at the time, and I guess I still do. Anyway, this half Cardassian, half Bajoran science officer for Starfleet he ended up in a situation with his character's father, and I kind of got stuck apart from the rest of the party with the father, who was an NPC, and a handful of other NPCs as well. It wasn't intentional. I didn't try to split the party. It just is how the game turned out. And I got stuck. I had no idea what to do or how to get out of the situation. I was racking my brain. I took a break. I asked Clay for a break, and I couldn't think of how to get out of the situation. Now, the other players are all watching me, partly because, you know, we're all friends here, we're all part of the same party, but also the game was kind of stuck until I did something. Things couldn't move forward until my character did or actively chose not to do something. And I felt really bad because I was holding everybody up and I just didn't know what to do. And I did something that as a DM, as a GM, as a judge, as somebody running a game, I would not be cool with at all. I wrote a note. I did not pass it to the DM. I passed it to another player, his name was Ryan, and asked him for advice. And maybe that wasn't the smartest thing to do. I know it wasn't the most fair thing to do. I mean, my character and his character were nowhere near each other. The DM wanted to know what we wrote, and I insisted that it was a private note between me and Ryan. And Ryan gave me some advice, and I ended up doing that as the character, and it kind of sort of worked out in my favor. And that wasn't fair. That wasn't fair to Clay, the GM. That wasn't fair to the other players. That wasn't fair to myself. I don't think that was something that I should have done, but it gets worse. Because I knew that Clay was a little irritated with Ryan and I passing notes to one another without sharing it with the rest of the class, I decided to take it a step further, because I thought it was funny to poke the bear behind the Game Master screen. I wrote another note to Ryan, and I said, hey, just pretend you're reading something, look at me, and nod like we just came up with an awesome plan to do something. But don't tell anybody. We're just going to mess with the GM a little bit. And Ryan did it. Now, at the time, I thought it was funny. Ryan thought it was kind of funny. Clay did not think it was funny at all. So, a little later in the game, in the session, we all took a break to go get something to eat, and just to kind of relax, go outside, get some fresh air. I didn't realize, I don't think anybody realized that Clay, whose home we were playing in, held back a little bit while the rest of us went outside to get some fresh air. He then joined us a few minutes later, and we continued with the rest of the game. I later found out that the reason he held back is because he wanted to read the notes that Ryan and I were passing back and forth. And months later, he called me on this. He called me on the asking Ryan for advice for my character, minor offense, and the, hey, let's screw with the GM note, major offense. Don't do this. If you're a player in somebody's game, don't do this. This isn't fair to the other players. It's certainly not fair to the DM or the GM. The judge, the game master running the game, puts so much time into preparing a game for you as a player. Respect that. Don't try to poke the bear. Don't think it's funny to screw with the DM. Just don't. So the point of this video is really my confessional. Clay, I don't know if you'll ever see this. I doubt you will. But on the off chance that you do, please know, I'm sorry. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being a subscriber or viewer of Dice Monster Dice. And I say subscriber or viewer because if you're not a subscriber yet and you're just a viewer, why don't you consider becoming a subscriber and helping this YouTube channel level up just a little bit more. Also, thanks again for everybody's support for the Harsh Tables Volume 1 Kickstarter. More information about that will be coming in the near future as I continue to update that Kickstarter page. There's still time, as of right now, for you to help support that Kickstarter, or at least just check out the page and share it with your friends. Hey, this is Editor Derek interrupting this video. Between the time I started editing this video and right now, we've hit the goal. So thank you so much for helping us hit the Kickstarter goal. Now that doesn't mean we're done. We still have several days left in the Kickstarter campaign, and we're going to be adding some stretch goals later this week. All right, back to the video. Once again, thanks for everything. My name is Derek M. Cook, and if the dice say no, you gotta go.